The esoteric anatomy of man. My friends, let's dive into the constitution of man, a lot of the ancient wisdom and knowledge around the subtle energetic body. This is the mystery of mysteries, my friends. And I want to bring it down to earth. I want to translate this so it's actually accessible, because this is the key to healing, to subtle energetic activation. I know a lot of people are interested in the Merkaba, but we really aren't at grips with or understanding the depth of the mystery here and the depth of the power here. So I'm going to be reading from Manly P. Hall, and we're going to talk about the subtle energetic body, the three centers of man, and man's constitution. Okay, and this kind of knowledge is so valuable. It's probably the thing that I've been most fascinated with, studying the most over the years here. And all my breath work and energy work and practices just keep getting deeper and deeper. But it's also the hardest thing to talk about because there's so much here. Every single mystery school taught this knowledge. The yogic, Vedic, tantric systems, the Taoist alchemy systems, the Kabbalistic systems, the Sumerian systems. So many systems out here. All of this is referring to the energy work. All the hieroglyphs are referring to the esoteric anatomy of man. So much could be said here, but I'm just going to do my best, my friends. And this is the truth I've, kind of accessed after many hours and years of study and experience with this stuff. So where to start? I'm going to start with a quote from Manly P. Hall here. This knowledge that we're going to be talking about here, of how man's manifold constitution could be most quickly and most completely regenerated to the point of spiritual illumination, constituted the secret or esoteric doctrine of antiquity. So this knowledge of how of man's manifold constitution and how we can bring that up to spiritual purity and illumination, how through the being and the physical and spiritual bodies we can access that state of perfection. This constituted the entire secret or esoteric doctrine. A lot of people are into the mystery school teachings right now, but the mystery school teachings essentially revolve around the anatomy of man, okay? And this is where the experience is realized. Let's go to, I'm going to read another quote here. Anyways, I can't find the quote, but it's a quote from Manly P. Hall that states all ancient priests and magicians were first off anatomists. They studied the anatomy of man because they realized the importance, and this is where all the mysteries are held. So let's begin at the beginning, my friends. Both God and man have a twofold constitution, of which the superior part is invisible and the inferior visible. So man is twofold in constitution. I could go find the same exact quote from Hermes in the Corpus Hermeticum, or from Thoth in the Emerald Tablets. In both, there's an intermediary sphere marking the point where the visible and invisible natures meet. Okay? So it's kind of like, a Vesica Pisces. I've heard that referred to as the astral body or the Christ body before. But the superior part is your divine nature. Man is divine. You have a divine nature within you, and you have an earthly nature. A lot of Hermetics is about which nature are you living into. Are you bringing the lower up to the higher, right? As Manly P. Hall puts it in the Secret Teachings. The mysteries taught that spiritual illumination was attained only by bringing the lower nature up to a certain standard of efficiency and purity. The mysteries were then established for the purpose of unfolding the nature of man according to fixed rules, which faithfully followed, elevated the human consciousness to the point capable of cognizing its own constitution and true purpose of existence. Okay. So this is also alchemy. Alchemy is about bringing the lower metals, or the lead, the base nature, and alchemizing it into gold, transmuting it into a more noble state. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm just going to do my best here. Spirit first circumscribes an area, then manifests within it. Okay, this is an important place to start. Where did my pen go? Well, doesn't matter. Spirit circumscribes an area and then manifests within it. Okay, so this is the causal body. This is where we're going to start because this is critical when doing energy work, is understanding the causal body. You can go check out my free energy work basic training package. And in there, I talk a lot about the Shiva Principle. Shiva can be understood as, in my mind, the empty superior self. The causal body is the most small, most subtle, and fast-moving particle. This empty superior self, the spirit body per se, or the Shiva Principle, everything is manifested inward from there. Okay, if you feel around you, you can feel into the most subtle field. And Shiva dissolves. He's the destroyer. Because by accessing the causal body, right, we access the original blueprint that's moving so subtly, so fast, and the subtle overcomes everything gross. So from here, from the Shiva body and understanding the causal self, that which came first, right, we can dissolve any impediments to health, any impediments or blockages in the nervous system, in the chakras, in the physical body. We can restore the original blueprint of vitality. And this is the Shiva Principle. Key when accessing some of this knowledge and practicing it is understanding the causal body. You, in your causal self, are in stillness, okay? It's like a higher dimension, and you are dreaming and manifesting inside of. You don't have a body, you are your body. Your physical body is manifested like essentially from the causal body, which manifests to the mental body, which manifests to the emotional body, which manifests the physical body. It's like this permeating root system through the dimensions per se. That's how it works in my mind. Okay. So now let's start talking about the centers. According to another concept of the ancient wisdom, all bodies... Whatever. I can't zoom in anymore. There we go. Have three centers. All bodies have three centers. The upper center, the middle center, and the lower center, called by the Greeks. In the Taoist system, it's the upper Dantian, the middle Dantian, and the lower Dantian. Okay? We're going to dive into some more of Manly P. Hall here, but first, I just want to elaborate on this. The lower Dantian, okay, rules man's physical nature. It is of the greatest importance of the physical nature, and it's also where all the chi is held in the body. Okay, your lower Dantian center. That lower Dantian center is where the life of the body is, like, it's the heart. Each one of these centers, my friends, is essentially a sun. Okay, let's read Manly P. Hall on that for a second. These three universal centers represent three suns, or three aspects of one sun. What is the sun? The sun is basically a heart, okay, that is pumping in or breathing in all energy around it, transmuting it into perfected light. The sun state is everything. If you read, the Emerald Tablets or the Emerald Tablet of Hermes, it's a perfect pattern. So the third center, or the lower center, is relegated to the position of least physical dignity, but greatest physical importance, the generative system. Okay? Thus, it is symbolically the source of life, the brain, the link by which, through rational intelligence, life and form are united. The generative system, or infernal creator, the source of power by which physical organisms are produced, right? So yeah, the lower center is the source of life in the body. This is important if you want to talk about healing the body. You start with the lower Dantian. Tumo breathing practices, my friends. Breathing into the lowest the lower 3 chakras of the body, breathing into the fire of the body, which is in that lower Dantian center. This is the source of prana in the body, okay? Prana is held here. Healing happens through the creative or sexual energy, okay? This is actually where you were born from. This is where physical nature of man is birthed through, because if we look at the sexual organs, right, like, physical life comes through that lower Dantian center. If you want to talk about regenerating the body, focus on breathing through your whole body into that lower Dantian center. So the lower Dantian is the microcosmic birthing portal. It is the birthing portal of man in the microcosm. Okay. Right up here, though, is the macrocosmic birthing portal. This is where God is birthed. This is where, the Father is born, the macrocosm. And it's born through spiritual vision and the logos, the word. Like, God spoke the word and everything was created. Every creation story has to do with either the universe singing itself into existence or being spoken into existence. It's the macrocosmic birthing portal, right? So the Son of Man, Christ, is right here, okay, in the middle. And there's a great mystery we're going to be diving into concerning the pyramids and the elements, and essentially where is your highest spiritual nature held within, in a second here. But essentially, the Divine Mother rises through the fire, with fire, through the lower Dantian center, right, into the heart, the Son of Man, and the Son of God. Because the macrocosmic, or the cosmic energy, pours down as light, and fire rises, right, into the central center of the sun. This is where the Son of Man is held. This is why you see Jesus with, a heart open in his chest, and he's glowing, because he's activated the Son of Man, okay? In the Vedic system, we have the Pingala and the Ida, which almost form a shepherd's hook, right? The Emerald Tablets explains that it rises slowly, with great ingenuity. It rises up to the heavens and descends again to earth, therein containing both the power of the above and below. This is the pattern. This is the Merkaba, the chariot of fire, both the above and the below, the feminine and masculine combined into one central center. That's why the Merkaba is in that heart center in the Vedic system. So much could be said there, my friends. That's getting a bit too deep for right now. But let's talk about the next center here. So we have the generative center, which is the source of life in the body. Okay. We have the center, the center, the heart center, right? Which is actually where the spirit resides. And then we have the upper center, where the mind, insight, rationale reside. Okay. And oftentimes we think about this as like, the third eye being of supreme importance. But the third eye is actually subservient to the heart, because the soul and spirit are held within the heart. There's a misunderstanding right now of the fact that there's 2 ways to look at this kind of information. People understand these 3 centers as the physical nature, the emotional nature, and the mental nature, or like, mental energy, cognitive body, emotional energy, right, and physical energy. Yes, on a lower plane of examination, that's true. We have the mental, emotional, and physical natures. And yes, the mental nature is highest, emotional subservient to that, and generative area subservient to the emotional or the physical body. But in fact, and if we look at the pyramids, a lot of people think that we have the lower chamber, which is like the animal nature, or like the animal's nature. We have the queen's chamber. And then we have the king's chamber. And people think that we go to the king's chamber for the highest levels of initiation, but that's actually a bit of a lie. We're going to get into that. The superior or spiritual center is in the midst of the other 2. In the physical body, it is the heart, the most spiritual and mysterious organ in the human body. The second center, or the link between the superior and inferior worlds, is elevated to the position of greatest physical dignity. So the heart, if we're talking about your divine nature, Okay? Your divine nature up here. Your physical nature here. The heart is the link between the two, right? Of the greatest physical dignity. But the heart is in the center. And it would seem that the mind would be above that, right? But how it actually works is above means inward. Below means outward in this sense right here. Okay? Continuing on to some of the more practical information we can use. Thus, the heart is symbolically the source of life, the brain, the link by which, through rational intelligence, life and form are united. Wow. So how do we unite? Whoa, what just happened there? How do we unite the form and the life together? A lot of us feel disconnected within our bodies, within our physical body, right? Go watch my nervous system video, the last one I posted. But connecting the life to the form is through the mind. And actually light is birthed in through that king's chamber, in through that upper center. Light. Hermes would say that like the goal is union of life and light. Union of the mind and of the heart, right? Through that Sushumna channel, through the chimney there. Okay? When we find union between the mind and the heart, the light and the life, right? The physical nature will come into balance with it all. So we must raise up the fires through our lower system, through our legs, through our roots into the earth. We must return to the mother, right? And then balance the light and the life so spirit can birth into us, into this full vehicle. And that's what that activation is. That's the Merkaba activation, is that balance of life and light. Up may be considered towards the center and down towards the circumference. Center is spirit, circumference is matter. Therefore, up is towards spirit along an ascending scale of spirituality. Down is towards matter. These three universal centers, okay, the three suns, as light bears witness to life, so as the mind bears witness to the spirit, and activity in still lower plane bears witness of intelligence. Thus, accordingly, the spiritual nature is most commonly symbolized by the heart. Okay, I'm going to read on from within the secret teachings of all ages. In this arrangement, the generative center represents the physical body, the heart, the emotional body, the brain, the mental body. The brain represents the superior sphere, but after initiates have passed through lower degrees, they are instructed that the brain is the proxy of spiritual flame dwelling in the innermost recesses of the heart. So in the beginning, initiates are told that the brain represents the superior sphere, but after initiates have passed through the lower degrees, they were instructed that the brain is the proxy back to the heart. And that the true secrets, the student of esotericism discovers here long that the ancients often resorted to various blinds to conceal the true interpretations of their mysteries. The substitution for the brain for the heart was one of these blinds. Okay? So the heart is the center of spiritual consciousness. Getting into the energy work now a little bit here. Getting into the elements of man first. So this is represented in the Bible as well. We have the gold tribes, the silver tribes, the bronze tribes, and the iron. Okay? In man's physical constitution, we have the earth element, which is your whole physical body, is the earth element. So we have earth, your physical body, right? We have water. Water, my friends, oops, wrong symbol. Water, the water element, is birthed in the lower Dantian center. Why is the lower Dantian center water? Well, your sacred waters are here, your sexual fluids, right? Your urine, your kidneys. All of this stuff is the waters. But guess what? At a higher nature, water represents chi. the waters of the firmament, the waters of life. This is why that lower nature is the key to healing, because it's the waters, okay? The earthly nature is your whole physical body, the skeleton and flesh of man. Then we have the air nature, the air part of man, the silver, okay? The air in man, which is like your chest and your lungs, and essentially like your heart. This air nature right here is the mediary between water and fire. Water and fire are like real elements. Air basically moves in between them. And air, my friends, air is spirit at such a deep level, because we can think of the air element again as like logic or reason or rationale, as a lot of people do, right? But in fact, air, breath is spiritus in the Latin. Breath is literally spirit. And guess what? We think of like if the heart is actually the most superior center and it's ruled by this air element, well then, air or spiritus is residing in that heart, right? And yes, air does represent logic, just like water represents emotion, but it actually corresponds to the breath. And the breath, right, mediates between the fire, which is the I am. This is coming from Rosicrucian knowledge and Manly Hall and Franz Barden right here. Fire, the I am, right? The true I am, the knowledge of self, consciousness is birthed through that pineal gland, the gold, right? And that I am, through the breath, enters into chi. My friends, this is why energy work starts from a deep awareness of self and the breath, okay? Because a deep awareness of self, breathing into that true I am, you know, like the higher self, the higher nature, and breathing into it flows chi through the physical body. Do you see how this all works together? This is kind of getting to the point of the video that I wanted to make, okay? So getting back to, so the fire is the true I am. Air is breath, is spiritus in the highest aspect of it. But guess what? The Rosicrucians also believed that air equals thoughts, whatever, thoughts and feelings. So there's actually a separation in the waters of air per se. In air, there's two distinctions. There's thought and then there's feeling, right? And that's what air corresponds to. And so feeling isn't necessarily water. That's chi. It's reserved for chi. Okay, I just wanted to relate the elements to us here. So, kind of forgot where I was going with all this, but you see how the constitution of man is manifested. That was the point. Getting back here, my friends, if we want to really elevate our practice, apply this information, realize it. Realize the causal body which surrounds us, right? That we're manifested inside of. The sun, that is your divine nature. That's invisible. By getting very aware, by breathing into that true I am, doing subtle, full breathing, you become aware of this field that permeates through all of you, okay? And from there, what we can do is actually start regenerating the physical body by breathing the fires, breathing through every cell of our body, right? Into that lower sun. Imagine a sun in your lower dantian and breathing fire into it. On that in-breath, inhaling and charging fire. Exhaling and allowing light to shine forth through your whole body. Feel your whole body. On a full exhale, hold and watch the Shiva Principle, the causal body, permeate through everything and knock away any blockages. Go check out the Energy Work Basic Training Package or my full package for more info on that, okay? Once we have the fires kindling, we're breathing or bathing in the fires of the earth. The fires of the earth, in the center of earth, basically, if we go read the Emerald Tablets. Then we start breathing that up. We start breathing the fires into that heart center, right? And expanding the chest to learn full body breathing, really. Breathing through your whole body. And we start kindling the flame in that chest. And we actually bring our consciousness. We place our awareness in our heart center. We place it at our highest nature. There we sit at the center of the wheel, the center of the circles, right? And with our consciousness placed there, we start breathing and feeling the whole form, the whole body, right? You can tap into that upper center and start breathing the light down and the fires up. Sitting right here, breathing and witnessing the light shining forth. So that's kind of the sum, very quickly, of applying the knowledge into breathwork. Again, go check out the energy work package. From there, my friends, I do want to move into a little bit of a study on the Emerald Tablets. Go check out my last video, the subtle energetic body and nervous system, because that's going to lead you into some more like practical application of all of this knowledge that I'm trying to communicate here. But Emerald Tablets of Thoth, chapter 7, the seven lords. Hark ye, O man, and listen to my voice. Open thy mind space and drink of my wisdom. Dark is the pathway of life that ye travel. Your pathway is dark, my friends. Welcome to earth. Many the pitfalls that lie in thy way. Seek ye ever to gain greater wisdom. Attain, and it shall be light on thy way. This is the meditation on, this is like embryonic breathing. Open the soul, O man, to the cosmic, and let it flow in as one with thy soul. Light is eternal and darkness is fleeting. Seek ye ever, O man, for the light. Know ye that light ever, as light fills thy being, darkness for thee shall soon disappear. Open thy souls to the brothers of brightness. Let them enter and fill thee with light. Lift up thine eyes to the light of the cosmos. Not really lift up your physical eyes, but your spiritual eye. Start to perceive with full body awareness the most subtle light of the cosmos, and keep thy face ever towards the goal being the full activation of the sun state. Okay? Only by gaining the light of all wisdom art thou one with the infinite goal. So now I just want to go to blend thyself with the great essence. Here comes another meditation from the Emerald Tablets of Sun. Hear ye, O man, the sun is the symbol of the light that shines at the end of thy road. Now to thee I give the secrets. Now to meet the dark power. Meet and conquer the fear of the night. Only by knowing can ye conquer. Only by knowing can ye have light. Right? If thou shalt find darkness in thine own thoughts, banish them forth from the place of thy mind. Send through the body a wave of vibration, irregular first and regular second, repeating after time until free. Start the wave force in the brain center. Direct the waves from thine head to thy foot. That's a meditation right there. This is how you remove blockages within the body. Seek ye first a place bound by darkness. Place ye a circle around about thee, meaning to feel all, embrace the full darkness inside of you. Maybe it's pain, maybe it's a blockage, tension, right? This is not the meditation I thought. I want to find, where is it? Blend thyself with the great essence. Right here, my friends, the key to freedom of space. Seek ye, O man, the great pathway that leads to life as a sun. Draw ye away the veil of darkness. Seek to become a light in the world. Make of thyself a vessel of light. Make of thyself a vessel of light to focus for the sun of this space. The sun is shining forth the unseen light. It's a vehicle from that invisible light, the pranic field, that causal self, into physical manifestation. The sun is taking that invisible light and shining it forth, the light behind the sun. Lift down thy eyes to the cosmos. Lift down thine eyes to the light. Speak in the words of the dweller, the chant that calls down the light. Sing the song of freedom. Sing the song of the soul. Create the high vibration that will make thee one with the whole. My friends, there is a dancing cosmic field of energy surrounding you at all times, okay? This field of energy. Can't draw on this. It's a great field of energy surrounding you at all times, right? This is the pranic ocean all around you. You are a dark blob in the middle of it. You are dark. What we must do is activate our light and become a living, pumping sun. This is perfection. This is everything. This is the mystery school. Okay? To do that, we must blend thyself with the great essence. This is the Taoist teaching. You know, to become one with the Tao, one with the universal way, is to become formless again, is to literally gain freedom from form, meaning to do these breathing techniques, to breathe into that true I am, to get subtle and feel that subtle self, right? And essentially create harmony in the physical vehicle to actually become a vessel of light so that your toroidal field is active, so that the Merkaba activates, the chariot of fire, right? This is what Christ did, the Buddha, Zoroaster, Quetzalcoatl, all the messiahs, okay? So to blend thyself with the great essence is to become aware of this high vibrational field of prana all around you and start to learn how to breathe that through your whole vessel, your whole vehicle down here, right? Feel how it manifests through all three centers of man, right? Stand in the place of the center and let yourself become one with the great essence, right? This is becoming one with the universe. So start feeling the universe and allowing thyself to dissolve through that Shiva principle. Lift down thine eyes to the light. Create the high vibration that will make thee one with the whole. Blend all thyself with the cosmos. Grow into one with the light. Be thou a channel of order, a pathway of law into the world, meaning create harmony and balance and order in the physical body. This is why the knowledge of the constitution of man is critical. Without it, you'll never unlock the keys of real order within the being on all levels. But when we become a channel of order, God manifests himself in you. This is the Father in you and you in the Father, just as Jesus said, you know, the Father is in me and I am in the Father. He is one with the light. He is a channel of order, a pathway of law into the world. Moses brought the law. The Torah is the law, right? The law of God, which is like the knowledge of God. Thy light, O man, is the great light, shining through the shadow of flesh. Free must thou rise from the darkness before thou art one with the light. Life fills thee with its flow, but know, O man, thou must arise and go forth, and forth thy body go, far to the plains that surround thee, and yet one with thee, too. Look around thee, O man, see thine own light reflected. Aye, even in the darkness around thee, thine own light pours forth through the veil. Okay, my friends, went really deep there. That's all for this video. Hit that like button, share this information. It's really powerful stuff. This was going much deeper into the mystery school. If you guys made it this far, on YouTube, go to type in Immortal Truth on YouTube. And that's actually my mystery school YouTube channel. This is probably going on Reality Files, although I went really deep. It might be hard for some to apply this, but nonetheless, this message has got to get out there. So thank you for watching. Again, please share and hit that like button. I want to go much deeper into all of this. This is only scratching the very beginning of the surface. So hell yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Go check out the Energy Work free training guide. Peace.